Hey everyone, how's it going? Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0, back again with this new video of mine, and I'm here to talk about and review Joker, Folie et Deux, and or Joker 2 as everyone's called it. And I will be spoiler free just to not ruin anything and just to give off my opinion and my thoughts, but also let's just get right onto it. What do I think of Joker, Folie et Deux? There are little things I like about the movie, and already, well, a lot of people are just giving it a bad review or saying mean things about it. And now, I will admit, I try to meet in the middle of try to like the little things about this movie, but yeah, I'm kind of sort of agreeing with some people here and there. When DC and Warner Brothers saw the success of the first movie, I mean, it made millions of dollars, maybe $1 billion, and it won an Oscar. Hey, you all know how these things go. I mean, when DC and Warner Brothers decided the first one became such a total success, and with all that money they have, let's just make a sequel. They are just mad with power with money. Yeah, but in my opinion, I wish I could fully love the movie, but I like the first one more. I mean, this one, there are some little elements that I do like here and there. I mean, it still has the same set and tone, but with a musical vibe. I mean, because that's another thing. They made it a musical, and yeah, there are several musical numbers in this movie. So, I don't know what else to say, but yeah, that's pretty much just like me summing it all up of like what the first one was like compared to the second one. But in my opinion, I mean, the first one, it had a good story. You start to connect with this new world. I mean, it's an Elseworld story when it comes to DC movies. I mean, some Elseworld stories would be like the Injustice story, Superman Red Sun, Batman Gotham by Gaslight. Yeah, there's a massive list and a handful of like DC comics that are Elseworld stories, and there are a dozen that I could definitely recommend reading. But this one, well, this whole Joker movie universe, I mean, it's set in the just like the first one, it's set in the 80s. It's very like real world esque, like it's a comic book movie, but with a lot of drama, crime drama, but it doesn't feel like a comic book movie. There's no Batman, it's just Joker, and just, well, with the mental health issues. I mean, not like the Joker we see in the comics, but a Joker with like a very different side story and different elements. And, but yeah, that's what makes it an Elseworld story. And I guess again, that's one of the things I do like about the movie. And just like the first one, Joaquin Phoenix playing the character, he was great, he was enjoyable. And I will admit, I was not expecting him to sing good, but wow, he could really sing. So I will give props and credit for that. His costume and makeup is still as spot on and it's just as good as the first movie. So that's another thing I will give props for. I mean, his acting is good. So that's something that I do like about the movie, and that's something I will give props and credit for the sequel. I mean, his acting is good. He had a way of stealing his spotlight, stealing his show, and just making it entertaining, making it good. So that's one thing that is worth watching and seeing in this movie. And of course, we have Lady Gaga playing, well, Harley Quinn, and or this world's version of Harley Quinn. Keep in mind that this is an Elseworld story, so don't expect her to be like, well, like any other version that's very similar and same. So forget the comic book version, forget Margot Robbie's version, forget the animated series. Like, put those aside. This is its own version and take and spin. Now, she comes off as like a fan of like also being a stalker and being like, I love what you're doing here, Joker. Please keep it up. I'm a fan and I want to worship you. Yeah, you will start to sense the whole Harley and Joker relationship and vibe. But there wasn't much of a relationship. I mean, it just felt more like she was a bit tossed around like a side character. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Harley Quinn. She's a great character in the comics, but this version comes off as very different. But again, she's played by Lady Gaga. It's an Elseworld story. So, I mean, her makeup and her singing, great, spot on. That's another great thing and to like about this movie. But also, in my opinion, I mean, again, actors are good. Stories and setting, I mean, those are things that like I wish they would touch a bit more on. But also, again, there are some musical elements. I mean, I get that it's a rated R musical. I mean, come on, we already got one of those. It's called Has Been Hotel. Definitely watch that show if you haven't already. I've brought it up a dozen times on my channel. But yeah, I mean, honestly, there's just not a whole lot to like about the story. I mean, it's just, well, I will admit the ending was a shocker, but there are just a few elements here and there of like, I wish I could say love it, but it's just not really hitting that spark. I don't know if it's gonna win Oscar like the first movie did, but I mean, it's worth trying. I mean, they do try their best. Because Todd Phillips, I mean, he's a good director, and this is the same guy that directed the first Joker movie and the Hangover movies. Like, he wasn't even on board for a sequel. They should have just left it be as like a one and done movie, because that is a thing for nowadays. There are some movies out there that should have been like a one and done deal. This Joker movie kinda sorta should have been one of them. I mean, and plus Todd Phillips did announce by saying that there is not going to be a third. He's done with DC movies and he won't be directing any more DC related things and projects. So now we're going to move on to, well, what's next for James Gunn's future DC Studios projects. But yeah, and other things about the movie, well, again, without spoiling it, I mean, set designs were good, I will say that. Again, there are some musical numbers that's like, well, that you could try to enjoy, but they're just not gonna, well, I'm not sure if it's gonna be Oscar winning. So yeah, full honesty, I may be agreeing with some people here and there when I say Joker 2 may not be like a box office hit. I mean, I'm a true diehard fan of comic books and superheroes and DC comics, yes. But this Joker movie, I mean, it's hard to tell on like what's gonna happen next and what's gonna, well, just what's gonna... Honestly, I'm just lost for words and I just don't know what else to say. So full honesty, not the best, and I wouldn't say best movie of this year, but I just try to learn to like the little things. So I will give the movie props and credit for that. But just that's just me wrapping it all up and just saying that there's not much else to say, but hey, there are some little things to enjoy, so I will say that. So that's pretty much everything I could say about this film without crazy spoilers and all that. But yeah, that's just my opinion, that's just my thoughts. So wrapping up this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel by hitting subscribe down there, hit the bell, hit the comments. It would be very supportive if you guys did that for me. And don't forget to also follow me on all my social media, which is just right here. And I just might follow you guys right back at you. But till next time, y'all, this is Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0, out and about. And, well, as Heath Ledger Joker would say, let's put a smile on that face.